Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
So took some profit.
All right, here's what I'm looking at this morning. The 5 things to know. SpaceX is incredible, up like 10% this morning. Stock futures are ticking higher, but have pulled back. All-time highs during pre-market is scary stuff. Economic calendar doesn't seem to be much on here. Housing starts maybe had an effect at 8:30. And after that, not much. However, the Fed is meeting today for their decision tomorrow. And as far as financial juice is concerned, Hezbollah has received promises from Iran that it will not sign a nuclear deal with the U.S. Unless Israel withdraws from Lebanon. So that puts everything very precarious position. I was looking at MCL this morning. MCL is definitely in an interesting spot right now. Has been declining, but from the latest pullback, this one was ideal. Let me draw this one. So from that pullback to the lows, was it that one or was it this one? No, it was this one. So from this drop to this low. No, it wasn't that one. Anyway, I can't remember which one I drew this morning. I was watching this live, but then we tried to make new highs and stopped over here. So I drew this. It is right at a very interesting level right now, and the market has opened. It's right at the 9:30 open. So I'm not a huge fan of going short here, just because it is at the very volatile moment. But this is my favorite setup for right now. MNQ, I was looking at it this morning. It was just ripping, and then it just fell apart. Let me just, somebody's saying, can you guys hear me okay? Thank you.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you. It's just something on Discord that changes my settings constantly. There we go. That should fix it. Can you hear me on? Thank you. All right. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, this drop here was difficult to grab. No entry for me. This is on the 1 minute. Let's go to the 5. We dropped down and then just 3 straight massive candles down. Difficult to find an entry on something like this. If I were to put fib level, I'd start where we started falling without a pullback. This was a tiny bit of a pullback, but this would have been the first, and this is what I was looking at 8:10 this morning, but it did not come back and give an entry, and this would have been a really good entry level. Especially that it was support and then blew past it and then retested as resistance. This would have been a good break and retest. Right, so this is the support level right here. And we broke down, did not consolidate before going down, but broke down, came down and retested. Did not put in a 1 minute bearish candle. This is a very, this is bullish. This one's very indecisive. This is the first bearish candle, but it's too far away from the white level over here. That's what I should be looking at here. Right. So maybe around this area, right? A short would have been possible. Would have stopped right above the level, aiming for whatever the profit target is. Right now, we're already at 4.8. So don't know if anybody caught a short on MNQ or MES this morning. MES did not break down. It's just been stair-stepping up. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen at the open, as in the first half hour. Nice big drop on gold. Don't know if Tarek caught this. Little double top at the top here. That's on the 1 minute. I only look at the 5 minute for my double tops. Again, this is hard to trade, right? It's just going down. Where do you put your stop? So from where it started going down to where it's finding support over here, I'd be curious to see what happens at the 50, right? If the sellers are actually in charge, will it retrace to the 50 and then drop down? But this is a higher time frame level over here. And seems to have been support in the pre-market and right now as well. So we'll see what happens with this. Other than that, I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments. What you're looking at, please don't hesitate.
MNQ just swept overnight low right before this push, so that's a good. If they've got liquidity from overnight. If they want, they can push back up towards 8 a.m.
Yeah.
range.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a discrepancy here between MNQ and MES. Right, MES was just chopping sideways slightly up, while MNQ was making new highs, broke all-time high again during the pre-market, and then got scared being up there alone and just pulled back. It did take out liquidity below here. Let's move this over here. All right, took out liquidity. Why am I on the 1 minute again? There you go. That's a big liquidity sweep here. Could be a big liquidity sweep. Right, I like that it went right below here, but where's your entry? Right, hard to go long with this wide of a stop. So thanks for sharing that, Brian. Double top here on MES yesterday was great. I was talking about the double top setup yesterday during the session, and it happened at 12:30. Gold, I'm going to set an alert right before getting to the 50 if it goes there. MCL is still hanging out here. So what will this candle do? Will it just sweep up and then reject? Seems a little bit bullish right now. We are coming down pretty low for a deal not having been signed yet. Down to 76.80. We have not been down here in a while. Right? So that's an interesting level right here. Did not take that out yet. If there was a setup to go short, that would be the main target or the first target. Back to the 2. Took out this recent resistance right over here. Took it out with kangaroo tail over here and then made a low. So a lot of people might have gotten involved for a short right over here, but then they got trapped. And now we just took out the stops above this wick. So what happens in this area will be very interesting again.
Yeah, good deal. I didn't see 40, so we popped it down. Open price, I like it. Looks like a good trade.
What are you saying, Brian? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know I had a hot mic. My bad.
Yeah, that's okay.
I guess I was just talking about, I took a little micro scalp. I mean, my screen's on a different thing, but we had that 2 candle 1 minute push
What-
on NQ.
Sorry, what product?
NQ.
NQ. Thank you.
And zoom in there on the 1 minute if you don't. I'll tell you. So yeah, 2 candle push. We got that red candle, which came back and tapped the Asia low. And then as that next candle opened, it dropped towards Asia low. I set a contract at the open price. We pushed through, and at CP, which is around 832, I just went ahead and trailed real tight as it broke it and took me out there. But just a little baby scalp, about 24 points or so.
Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing.
I didn't mean to actually. Just had a hot
Yeah,
mic.
no. Okay. No, that's good.
I will say RTY is in a unique spot. It's a little different. It's narrow higher today, and we've broken R3, and it's currently consolidating at where the first 5 minute candle closed. So R6 is sitting about, I'd say, 23 points higher. So looking for kind of a retest of R3 and a sign of a potential push on that as well. That's RTY or M2K if you're trading the micros.
Yeah. Wow, that's a nice push on M2K. I wasn't looking at this morning. So took out the high.
Same for YM too.
Sorry, what?
Same on YM. Really strong push on YM this morning. The Dow.
Yeah, wow. Taking out the highs, and yeah, this YM has been absolutely incredible over the last few days. Take out some of these drawings. Too many lines. Have that there. Even for a breakout and retest, there's no, as of yet, there's no retest of this level, but setting an alert over here would be interesting. And this would be very close to, the 50 range from where we really started going up. Actually, no, the 50 is a little bit higher here. So interesting spot to watch for the Dow. So curious to see. I don't like that it's chopping in the golden zone over here. Right, for my strategy, I like it going in just like this candle right here. Right, this 2 minute candle just popped in, made a new low. That would have been the entry right over here with the stop above. Let's put it in and see if it would have worked. All right, stop right above the 61.8. That candle right there went to exactly 61.8 at 77.92, and aim for 3. And I don't like where 3 sits because it is lower than this higher time frame level of possible support. So we'll just leave it in here as a drawing, as a maybe, but now that I draw it out, I would not have taken this trade. M2K, this was all-time high, I believe, right where it is right now. Let's put a level there. And I'll remove this one. Just read something that SpaceX is now valued more than Amazon. SpaceX passes Amazon by market cap in third day of trading. It's unbelievable. So this pullback here is interesting to yesterday's high. Possible break and retest. Indecision candle there. There's spike up. Be curious to see how this candle closes. It had been a limit entry. It had been a limit entry long here. Stop would be below the 61.8. 3 is reachable before getting to the highs. Let's put this in here just for the fun of it. Only 9:45, so I'm still waiting to see what direction we're going in. And I'm going to put this screen on. Too much information on here. I'm having a hard time with TradingView lately. Every time I perfect this screen here, if I restart the computer, it doesn't hold the memory, even though I've saved this multiple times. Hopefully this one holds. All right, so the crude would have stopped out here. So this is gone and that is gone. And like I said, I'm not crazy about the range. Let's go back to the 5. This is a screen I like having on my monitor when I'm just working on other stuff. Just quickly glance at pretty much the major indexes and metals. The Dow seems to be the really interesting one right now. Oh, man. I hit my alert, but I'm already on that screen. Anybody's looking at any equities? Don't hesitate to share. That's what I'm looking at on my other screen right now. Get these drawings out of the way. So that was the breakout and retest over here. So this is where we had been chopping. It broke out of this area and then retested and then just took off. No consolidation before breaking out of all-time highs. However, if it came down here and gave a bit of a sweep below, might give an entry for the continuation long. Nothing in MNK. Seems to be rejecting pre-market high on MES. A lot of wicks over top here. Took out this liquidity, but did not close above. Gold is just chopping around the opening range, the opening 5-minute range. That's interesting. So have not broken out of the first 5 minutes, and that's after 51, so 21 minutes. Yeah, that's quite the move on Bloom Energy. It is spiking up. Don't know if there's news. 20 hours ago.
Yep. Gills, can you see when their next earnings call is? I've got limited resources right now. It'll be their first earnings call since I think it's their first earnings call since the deal with Oracle. Maybe I could be wrong about that.
What do we got here?
I mean,
Approximately the 30th. That's next.
July.
What's? Oh, sorry, it is July. I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting one to watch for earnings for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This has been absolutely incredible. We were talking about this back in 25. This is one of those. I wish I had followed my intuition and invested, because everybody, I don't know if anybody watches the All In podcast, but they were talking about Bloom Energy and on All In, and right around this time. Anyway, just got the alert on MNQ, and there is a big drop in MYM. That seems to be more than a sweep. Oh. MNQ, honestly, I'd love for it to take its time and retest the highs. That's why I cannot find a short in here, because we hit all-time highs during pre-market on low volume. So again, I'm expecting this to come back to the top, and then we'll gauge, is it going higher or will it reject up there? MES, I've got an alert above these wicks. Gold has broken down below the initial 5-minute.
The problem with the NASDAQ, that even on the push higher, the CVD is still red on the bigger time frames, on the 1 hour and on the 30 minutes. So it seems like buyers, the CVD, cumulative volume delta, despite the push, still the buyers are not there.
Yeah, it's pretty flat. Yeah, thanks for that observation. But yeah, I've got an alert at the tops here. I'd like to see it. Even I think I'd be alerted right above yesterday's high. Right, if we push there and reject, I'll start looking at it. It's not a definitive trade. Gold. I had the alert here at the 50, but the 50 we need to move the goalpost. So actually anything above here would be interesting. I got 2 in here. Here we go. Oil alert at what was prior support. I want to see, how do we react here? Does it become resistance for the continuation down? And then if you look on a higher time frame, right, from this pullback, that high to that low, that coincides. All right, the 50 already coincides, but very close. If it just starts making new lows right now, chalk it up as one that we missed. And the alert, I'm going to bring it down a tiny bit, give me time to look at it. MYM's bouncing here. I was putting AMD on my chart. This was all-time high. Came down, tried to retest the. Yeah, I don't know if we're waiting on on the Fed's decision tomorrow. This might just be choppy, directionless for until tomorrow, 2 p.m. I don't see
I'm out of here,
any.
y'all. Have a good day. I'll see y'all
You're
tomorrow.
heading out. Okay, see you later, Brian. Thanks for sharing.
Later, Brian.
Yeah, I'm not putting that on there. That's just choppy mess. Yeah, if you're able to gauge support over here, I don't see where the entry is other than the break of the high of the bullish candle here on the 2-minute. There's a choppiness or a consolidation above yesterday's high on Bloom Energy. Then it took off from there, but never gave a retest. All right, and this is it all-time highs? No, just the level that I had. Most recent rejection level. Oops. On the 5, back. Oh, you're going to make me write it. Nothing. Oh, that's a good sign. Potential signing of the U.S.-Iran MOU scheduled for Friday. Yeah, when the market's like this, boring, but you know what? I'd rather be doing something else at the computer, set some levels, and not putting any capital at risk in this. I do not see any setups right now. If gold was to come back into the golden zone area here and reject, I might look at it. There was room to the left from the initial try to push up. And then this was the latest impulse move. Swing low, below recent support. If it came up and showed weakness around this area, it's the only thing I'm seeing right now, except for the MCL that I missed. Not too late. If it, popped up in here again, I've got an alert. I'd like to see it come in and take out liquidity. Simple reason is that there's a support level at the bottom here, or liquidity level from way back. Let's go to the 30-minute, right? This right here. And since we are that close to it, I wouldn't be surprised for the stops that are below here to be taken out. So that's why taking a short from the 78.50 area or 78, wherever it is here, might be a good short into this area here. But I've got an alert set, and we'll see. Time is at 10:06. I might not stick around for the full half hour if there's no there's nothing to watch or no questions or sharing of what you guys are seeing.
It's quite tough day. Choppy, choppy price actions very wild. Scalping could have made money on a market like that, but the style of trading that most of us have would have been quite challenging, honestly.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing, Tarek. It's just it's possible, going short on something like this. So let me take this. Oh no, I wanted this. But yeah, going short when we are rejecting over here, there's definitely scalping to be made in moves like this, right over here. But now look at the wicks over here. Right, it's just big green candle followed by a big red candle. I mean, you have no idea. And for my style, I need to know who's currently in charge, buyers or sellers, and I can't tell that right here. But yeah, there's that's just my style of trading. There's a lot of people that can make a crap load of money with scalping. I've just never had success doing it. I shouldn't say that. I have had success, but I haven't had consistent success doing it. All right, everybody's put on a scalp that worked, but doing it consistently is hard. Not for me. And stressful. No time
It's for me, honestly, Jill. It's quite challenging.
Yeah. The other thing is, you need a massive account to be able to make some money. Right? If you're going to be scalping, you need to scalp more than, one contract for it to be worth it. And you need very large accounts, or you need to, scalp on the NQ instead of MNQ, or ES instead of MES. Hey, it's doable. And there might be people in here that do it. And if so, then yeah, share your your thoughts and your strategies, and why I'm continuing. Yeah. Why did it find support right here? I don't know. I would have had a level down here. Right? If it came down here and found support here, then I would have been okay taking along. But over here, it's in the middle of nowhere. Right? There's no obvious level here. So just to explain why, I wouldn't look at this.
This price action is horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. I at least I'm not the only one. I feel like it's quiet. Maybe people are getting involved in certain trades, but
I took a long on M2K and it's sort of just doing this weird price action.
yeah.
And I don't know what to do with it. I've put my stop at break even and I'm just going to accept that.
Yeah, these candlesticks, I mean, for me, that's on the 1. Let's look at the 5. I don't like looking at the 5. Look at these wicks. Don't know who coined the phrase of saying that these have teeth. When candlesticks have teeth like this, I mean, you can kind of see a bit of a triangle forming. Have you guys heard that before, Tarek?
Yeah, Avi.
Does Avi say that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
I might have gotten it from Avi then.
The spread's really wide as well.
Yeah.
Should be 0.1 and they're popping it in one direction or the other and putting the spread to like a 0.2.
Yeah.
So
that just indicates low volume, right? Low participation.
Yeah. I normally check the relative volume on the higher time frames and it is pretty low.
Yeah.
Definitely feels like a pre-news day. So it wouldn't surprise me if they messed everybody around here and then the low's already been swept from yesterday and then they will sort of go and sweep the high as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was debating not even showing up today. Just I'm having computer problems and my daughter and wife are home because we've got a little graduation going on later on this afternoon. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's okay. I mean, it's good experience to be watching this stuff and to stay away from it. Especially for my students that are learning. I mean, you learn that when you see something like this, just a choppy mess. For my style, there's nothing to do here. MES, just chop. That's something Avi says all the time, right? He'll look at a chart, just say, yeah, choppy mess, nothing. MGC, still, very close to the initial 5-minute range. So it's still within the initial 30-minute range. And not a fan. However, if it popped up, came into the 50 here, and then you saw a sweep, confirmation on CVD, not quite sure where CPP, Camarilla pivots are, R3 and R4. So in between R3 and R4 it's a chop zone. Is it rejecting R3 right now? Possibly. You can see that the wicks just came into R3, but it's in a higher range. So and they're very wide pivots because of yesterday. But in a wider range, if we had opened just above S3, it could have been along there. But opening up around R3, there's not much to do here. MCL.
M2K is at that 3,000 level, and it feels like they are trying to sort of build some participation to see if we can defend that level and use it to sort of move to the highs.
So this was the high of pre-market yesterday. This level is at 3005. As far as a 30-minute, we just wicked up twice and could not close above it. On the 15, could not close above it. Right, so it's definitely rejecting. But if we get a close above, then it can absolutely continue. Like I said, you can see a bit of a triangle forming here.
I did that in the pre-market on the M2K. We had 2 4-hour wicks to the upside, but we just kept building higher lows and eventually cracked through it anyway.
Yeah, I don't see anything over here. I mean, if this 4-hour were to close near this line right here, let's just put a line. That's where it is right now. Right, so if the 4-hour were to close here and make a new low, that's a very large kangaroo tail indicator for a short, possible short.
MNQ, it's looking weak. It seems like it want to break down.
Which one? I didn't hear, sorry.
The MNQ.
MNQ, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, but MNQ, yeah, absolutely. But personally, I wouldn't take a short anywhere near here because we've got the low of the opening session and pre-market low right in this area. So that's no bueno. Don't get me wrong. It can just, keep going down from there. What I would like to see is if it does that, let it break down here and then let it come and retest and then let it go down. Try to get involved at that point. I'm actually going to set an alert below here. Like I said, I probably won't be at my computer the rest of the day, and I don't want to be on my phone while I'm at the ceremony. That would be frowned upon.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at where was I? I saw somebody else doing the same. Oh, it was a dance comp a couple months ago. If your daughter's not dancing, it's dance after dance after dance after dance for 3 days. So when your daughter's not dancing and you're not that interested in the dance, it's not necessarily frowned upon, especially if you're sitting in the back, which is what I do when my daughter's not dancing. I was looking at my phone and looking at charts, and I saw somebody about 5 rows ahead of me with exactly the same thing, dark charts and looking at TradingView. And I meant to go talk to him, just because it's not every day that you see, another dance dad looking at TradingView. And I didn't find him. It would have been great to have a conversation. Let's look at SpaceX. Thanks, William. Let's look at what it's doing over here. SpaceX is something that absolutely with the reload, right? They might have trouble finding buyers over here, but there are definitely buyers. interested in this. So it's getting very close from the opening, very close, or actually touched the golden zone, the 50% retracement.
Wow, big drop.
There we go. There's that alert. Okay, so what do we do here? Do we come and retest the area of the drop? This is something, when I see a big drop like this, you can draw a 1 minute fib. Obviously, a little bit risky. And look for an entry around 37.63. But it just broke down below pre-market low and retested it on the 1 minute. So let's see what happens. And the SpaceX could absolutely have an impact on what's going on in the broader market. And so it's probably not a coincidence that we're seeing a pullback in SpaceX here and a pullback in MNQ, possibly MES. So there you go. There's that candle getting back into this. So that would be considered a bit of a scalp. MNQ. I wouldn't be totally against getting in a small position here. That is quite the wick, though. And then where would
I'm in short from 848, 30,848, when it did a lower high on the 5 minutes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice position. Wow.
Yeah, I need now to hold it. This is my challenge.
That's the thing. I mean, right now, from where it is, if it broke down and retested, again, this is not trading advice. You can only assume that we retested, mind you, it's on the 1 minute, retested this area and gave it up. So you look left and where did we start buying? Well, we started buying right here. Right? Most recently, right, the low from where it is right now, there's a little bit of one right here, I guess. But my initial instinct, and I didn't say it, but you saw me do it, I went and put a level over here. So if it continues down, my target personally, and I did go into a short, what was my entry? My entry, I got some slippage, 776.50. Is that it? No, that's a stop. 732.50. 732.50. When I saw that it was making a new low here on that kangaroo tail here, and got in with really small size because the wick is, my stop needs to be way over here. But getting into small size right now, I am de-risking right now. And I can always add into the position because my target is 36.28, that area. That's my initial target. I want to see what it does here. And it's right above S3. And a pullback right now is normal. If it goes back to my entry over here, actually, I would put my, I'm going to bring down my stop. 741. No, I like it back at de-risking it. All right, so I'm going to see if it comes down over here. And if it does come down here, that's the level of possible support. I'm not necessarily going to take it off. I'm de-risked right now. So if it comes back and stops me out of break even, I'm fine with that. But this is something that I'm looking at the possibility of a larger move. So I'm going to see if it comes down and touches the 627 area here, and just wicks down, then and then shows a bullish candle, I might get out. But if not, I might keep it in. And by the way, let's just draw this right now. So this was my initial fib. I would bring it down to where, over here and down here. So now if it makes it above, let's say 40, then I would be out. $40.75. So for a small loss. It definitely seems like it's going to take it out. It looks like the buyers are getting involved again. Yeah, there you go. Stopped out. Again, where did it stop right now? Well, was it at this level? Yeah. Pretty much at the most recent spot where we were buying. As in the most recent, if you look left, right, we had this level here, and then this range right here is where we started buying. So yeah, difficult price action. And now it's putting in a trendy kangaroo. So if this closes red on the 1 minute and on the 5. So on the 5, it would have to come down here. 3709. Might be another short opportunity there. But these wicks are massive, so you know what? I think I'm going to walk away and wait till tomorrow. See what happens tomorrow. I can't trade later on today. Watch it. I'll miss a massive move today, but oh well. That's okay. All right. With that, it's almost 10:30. I'm going to cut out, and like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. So good luck, everyone. Hopefully you can find an entry, and holding a long time is hard in this Wicky choppy market. So stay tuned. I believe we've got somebody coming in right after me. I just want to check the, unfortunately, I need to cancel. Parsa says he needs to cancel today's session due to unexpected scheduling. We'll make up for today's session during tomorrow's session and cover everything that was planned for today. So Parsa is not coming in, but the room remains open. So if you guys are staying in, good luck. All right. Cheers. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Hopefully you're able to take a little something out of that trade. That was an awesome entry.
Yeah, I'm still in.
Yeah, oh, good for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold now. So I have a problem exiting really early.
Yeah, yeah. Well, pick your target, and yeah, pick your target. And what works for me is putting in a range order and walking away. I mean, that's yeah, that's what works for me. Without what works best for me. Is just walking away or just not looking at it. But anyway, you good luck with your trade. All right, cheers everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.